Welcome to live podcast. Welcome to Keeping It Real Estate, where we keep it real and have tech issues sometimes. So thank you all for being here. Actually, I did not promote this one. As I always say, I didn't know what I was going to talk about until hours ago. I have ideas, but then, like 10 minutes before I post, and then I'm surprised when people actually show up. So thank you for being here. I'm really appreciative. And today I want to start off to take a minute to appreciate and send some love and my deepest condolences to Autumn Pickering, who lost her daughter, who is like the backbone of this podcast. And if you have it in your heart, I shared her GoFundMe, totally unexpected loss. And she is somebody that is always a smiling face at all the events I go to, and always the first person to check in with me to see if I have a topic and if I'm going to show up to these every week or every other week when I do it. And I miss her and I feel for her, and I just hope that, we can all support her as a community because she's the most amazing person. And so we love you and we miss you, Autumn. So I just wanted to say that. And if you find it in your heart, I shared her GoFundMe on my Facebook page, and I'm sure you can find it just about anywhere. Okay, second, so normally I like to start things on a positive note, and I was recently scrolling through social media, found a post about somebody who had, actually it was a Patrick Mahomes, like what Patrick Mahomes did to become like the best quarterback, now that Tom Brady is, retired and everything. But there was a song that was attached to this reel. And it is, the artist is called NF, and that's like capital N, capital F. It's probably his first and last name, because I think his first name is Nate. And the song is called Hope, and it's a pretty long song, but there's a section of it that I want to play that is like, I don't know, it's everything that I tell you guys, that I'm like, this is what this is about. It's about being authentic. It's about doing things not because of money, but because of passion. So I'm going to play it. Hopefully, it's from his YouTube channel and his lyric thing. So I'm going to share it and play it, and then we're going to talk about it. So hopefully, let me share sound and make sure this works. Hopefully no more technical difficulties. All right. So the song is called Hope, and it's by...
What's one definition of success? That listening to what your heart says. Standing up for what you know is when everybody else is keeping it between their legs. What's one definition of success? Creating something no one else could. Being brave enough to dream big. Quitting when you're told to just quit. Giving more when you got nothing left. Person that'll take a chance on something that would so could never happen. It's a person that can see the bright side through the dark times when they're able. It's what's someone who ain't never had nothing and afraid to walk away from more because they rather do something that they really love and take the pay cut. It's a person that would never waver or change who they are just to try and be some credibility so they can feel accepted by a stranger. It's a person that can take the failures in their life and turn them into motivation. It's believing in yourself when no one else does. It's amazing what a little bit of faith can do. If you don't even believe in you, why would you think or expect anybody else that's around you to?
Okay, so it goes on and it talks about like his childhood and some things like that. But that section, I was like, that is so powerful. And there was another video that used it because I like watched all the videos that had this song in it. If you click on the song, it'll pull up any reels that have it on Facebook or something like that. And there was another one, and this woman was like, watch me lose 200 pounds. And she did this time lapse of her working out. And there's another part that he talks about like 30 years of grinding, 30 years of trying, 30 years of pain, 30 years. And he keeps going like on this. And like, it gives me chills and it gives me goosebumps, because I keep telling you guys, and I come here and I like lay my heart out, about doing things because you care about them, and how that will in turn, what follows is the success and the happiness and the joy that you want, and the money too. I mean, because if you're doing something you hate for money to just exist, that is not going to get you where you want to be, right? Like that is the last thing that you want. But I keep telling you guys, like when you follow your heart, you are true to yourself, when you care about people, when you understand why you got in this business, and if it's not just about money and, like all the money that you can make as a real estate agent, because you can make a lot of money. We all know that. But it's about if you care. And when people say, hey, you know what? I'm in a hard place. My mom just died and I don't know what to do with this house that, like is completely filled with stuff and memories and things like that. Like, what's your reaction to that? Is it, okay, well, we'll just take care of it for you? Or is it like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry to hear that. And this is why people like Alex won the award for being the best agent in Rochester 3 times. 3 times. Yeah, I couldn't do it. I had a 3 times. It looked like I put up 2, but 3 times I had a lid in my hand. But this is what we're talking about. This is why I do the keeping it real estate, because we keep it real here. We don't want to manipulate people. We don't want to try to push our way into an appointment so that we can, force somebody into something that they're not ready to do. And when you do the right things, then you become the top agent. When you care about people, when you care about the right things, then you see the results of that. So that's my little intro tangent that I hope is inspiring, because first of all, that's an amazing song, amazing album. There's another one I was like, this could literally be my business, not motto. Now I can't think of the word, but like your business statement. No, not statement. Basically your motto. And I think the song might even be called one. Is it, Reba?
Mantra? Mantra or slogan?
I'm trying to think it. I'm close. I can't think of it. Business. My husband knew what it was.
Anthem.
Anthem. Close. Okay. It's like it's a business term though. It's like not your business plan, not your mission statement. Yay!
When are we our chicken dinner?
I know that was gonna drive me nuts. I have it written out too. I could have pulled it up, but I'm like, we've already had some technical difficulties. So yes, mission statement. There's a song on there. I can't remember what it was called now. But anyway, the artist is NF, like as in Nate, and then let's just say his last name is Forrest. I don't know. But NF, and the album, or at least that song, is called Hope, and it's pretty amazing. I'm a big hip hop fan too. So okay, so now I haven't even mentioned what this topic is going to be today. 10 minutes in. So I have teased this topic for a while, and I don't know why I haven't done it. I think it's really, really complicated. And that's how to choose the right coach or mentor. And why do I feel this way about this? It's not as simple as you might think. And I used to sell real estate coaching. I totally believed in the real estate coaching that I sold. But there's other factors that I'm not going to share that have held me back from this topic, I guess is what I will say. So I decided to do this now because it's relevant and it's something I know really well. And I think it will help people, because as the rates drop and we become busier and stuff like that, it's really good to have somebody that you can look up to and learn from and things like that. So we're going to talk about how to choose the right coach. And the first thing is, it depends, like with all things, right? It depends. Okay, so it depends on what you need help with. I could, part of me wants to say, sometimes I'm like, okay, blanket statement. If your coach has never sold real estate coaching, well, then you probably shouldn't be coaching with them, right? However, I can't say that. You know why? Because Tom Ferry has never sold real estate. I don't even know that he has a license. Never sold real estate. Mind-blowing, right? Number 1 real estate coach in the world. May not even have a license. May have never sold a home. Now, that doesn't mean that he's not privy to selling real estate, right? Because I'm pretty sure his dad and his brother do. I don't know how that relationship is. But I had to know these things when I was selling our real estate coaching, because ours was based on the premise that you would learn from a coach who actually is where you want to be, which is another part of it. So, but I can't just make that blanket statement and say, you know, if your real estate coach hasn't sold any real estate in 10 years, then probably not a good idea. However, so this is why it's so nuanced, right? However, how does that real estate coach make you feel? What are the things that you need to work on? So I'm going to read off a list. Now, we all know that real estate is not just selling pretty houses and making money and choosing your schedule and, you know, whatever, right? We all know that it has a whole lot of things involved. So do you need help with contracts? Do you need help with marketing? Do you need help with systems? How about with your lead gen, lead conversion, lead follow-up, scripts, team building, agent attraction? Because not everybody is in real estate to sell real estate. I'm not. I don't sell any real estate, which is crazy, I know. So is I. But I could teach you how to make phone calls all day long. I could teach you how to have a conversation, which is about anybody that's a buyer or a seller, right? So it's not as simple as that. Do you need help with your social media? Do you want to learn how to create amazing videos? Do you want to have accountability? Do you need help with technology? Maybe your tech stack, AI. Literally, there are coaches for just about everything. And real estate is not just one simple little, yeah, you know, learn how to sell a house. No. Do you need contract help? There's so many things that you need to, you know, understand. Where is your deficit? What is it that you want to coach for? Are you trying to get to where the coach is? Because that's what it should be. I feel like if you're going to be coached by someone or mentored by someone, they should have more experience than you. And when you outgrow them, don't be afraid to change. Because if you do, if you learn and glean everything you can from that coach, and now you're outselling them, now it's time to move up, right? And a lot of people will stick with the same person because they feel like it's a friendship, you know? And it should have some elements of a friendship, but this business, if you haven't learned already, it's not really so much about the friendships. Yes, we are friendly and we respect one another, but there's more to it. We have to be business savvy, right? So keep that in mind when you are looking for someone. And then you always want to choose a coach that makes you feel good about yourself. So this is why I decided to do this topic. I recently hired someone who's in real estate to help me out, make phone calls, be an ISA for me. And they haven't been in the business very long. They immediately joined a team and they were handed leads. I don't think this person would mind that I'm talking about this. So they started getting leads, but then somebody approached them from a different company, a different brokerage, and they were like, how much percentage are you making? Da, 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 da. Well, they had never experienced what it's like to be a solo agent, to lead generate for themselves. They were just handed what the team gave them, and it was literally Zillow. So we're not like, you know, this is fall in your lap, your phone rings. It's totally different, right? And so, but the split that the team was taking, well, the person that was trying to come over to my brokerage, come over to here, do this like this, I'll show you how to do it, right? That person told them that their split sucked. And it might have, but then he came and worked for me for a little bit and he saw what it really takes to convert. He saw that I call people that I've been calling for 2 years every month. And I give them opportunities to say, hey, this is, you know, I'm not looking anymore. And I still call them until they tell me to stop. 2 years. And he's like, wow, that's from an internet lead. There's somebody that clicked something looking for a list of homes 2 years ago, right? So now he sees, okay, if I want to keep 80 to 90% of my commission, then I have to put in 80 to 90% more effort. And you have to do that for a period of time first, right? So that's why, like, I also have a client that I take Zillow calls for, which is the most random thing I never thought I'd do, but I did. Somehow it happened and now I do. And those are totally different. They're totally different. They take a different skill set. They cost a different amount. Like, and so I'm just saying, like, he understands now what it takes. And if he decides, which he did, to go back to this team, because now he's like, well, I don't, you know, I'd rather just get what I get and learn it and then eventually do something else, right? So you have to understand, what are you going to glean from these people? What are they trying to teach you? What is their motivation? How is it going to benefit you? What do you need to learn? What are your deficits, right? Because if you need to learn lead follow-up and lead generation, then maybe it is a good idea to go on your own, right? But if you can't afford to do all that, then maybe you stick with the team until you learn those things on the side and start blending them, right? So kind of went off on a tangent there, but hopefully you get my point. Okay, so another thing, why I say this can apply to brokerages and team building as well. So we're looking at finding a real estate coach, finding a mentor, or if you're going to join a team, which is why I told that story, or a brokerage, right? All of these things you need to look at. Is the coach, is the mentor, is the brokerage, is the team, is it agent-centric, or is it that person-centric, or is it that brokerage-centric? Do you have to fall in line with what they want? Is it their system, their way, or the highway? And I know this from taking a lot of trainings. I thought I turned this off. Okay, there we go. I took a lot of trainings when I first got licensed, and I was like, I want to know all the things. And I chose my brokerage based on the trainings that I would get. And I literally selected my mentor based on getting a certain type of coaching that I wanted. And that was really, really important to me. So I did a lot of trainings, and then I paid for some trainings that were outside of that. And I found really quickly that there are some people that are like, my way or the highway. You do it my way and you'll see results, or you leave, right? So a lot of people pay a lot of money. And just so you know, real estate coaching can be worth every cent if you put in the work. Don't do it unless you have the ability to follow through and put in the effort. Otherwise, you just throwing your money down the drain, and it's one of those shiny object syndromes where you're going to be doing the same kind of thing that I talked about on one of the other podcasts, where you're just wasting money. And I can't stand to see agents waste money on things, because it happens very often where they're comparing themselves to other people, and then they're doing those things. So thank you, Suma. I appreciate that. Okay, let's see. So yeah, agent-centric or broker-centric. Brokerage, broker, coach, mentor-centric. Can you be yourself? Can you represent yourself? Can you market yourself? I joined a team and I wasn't allowed to go outside of the font of the team. I had to have their colors, their fonts, their cards, all of that. Didn't last very long, just so you know, but I do have like 1,000 of those cards still. But it didn't last very long because I couldn't be me. It wasn't me. It wasn't who I wanted to be. So if that's important to you, if you want somebody to tell you exactly what to do, that might be important to you. And maybe you do want more structure, right? So you have to look at the nuances between this. This is totally applies across the board when you're choosing a brokerage, choosing a team, choosing, a coach or a mentor. Okay. All right. Let's see. What else do we have? Okay. So I think I mentioned this earlier, but I want to kind of dive into this a little bit more, because I think it's probably the most crucial part of like finding somebody that's going to support you. Your coach needs to be where you're trying to get to. And this is why I really believed in the real estate coaching that I formerly sold, but I do not promote right now, just so you know. Like, I want to make that clear. I don't want to explain why. If you guys ever hit me up privately, I will tell you gladly. But otherwise, I'm going to keep this off the air. So when you have somebody that is doing something at a high level, okay, I'm going to use a real estate coach that I know for context. And I think a lot of you actually know Krista Mayshore. So Krista Mayshore is a digital marketing guru, social media expert, and her personality brings joy out of people. And I don't think anybody could tell me I'm wrong about those things, right? Unless that doesn't vibe with you. But every time that I go to a coaching call with Krista, her energy, her like the value that she brings, the level of encouragement, excitement, and like the way that she lifts people up instead of tears them down. And this is really crucial because, like I said, I did this topic because I heard someone that was having an issue where they were being coached by this guy and the guy was tearing them down. Why aren't you doing it like this? Look at that guy. And they're competing. Instead of bringing them up and saying, what's your talent? What's your skill set? Where are you at? How can I help you? They were like, well, you shouldn't be doing it that way. You should do it like this guy over here because look at how many closings he got. Or you should do videos like this person, or you should do it like this, right? And that is where it all kind of comes together, where you have to be agent-centric, not broker-centric, not mentor-centric. Some people, it's all about them. And the things that I paid for, that's how it was. It was like, do it this way. Don't deviate from exactly what I told you. And then you're going to see results. But those results were from like 20 years ago because they're selling the same thing over and over again. And has that person made a phone call? I don't think so. So they're telling me how to make a phone call today. And they haven't probably made a single follow-up call to a buyer or seller in who knows how many years. Just saying. Plus they charge like $2,500 for it. So I'm just saying, watch and learn. So pay attention to the way they make you feel. Pay attention to their numbers and whatever you need to learn. So like Krista, if you were going to ask her what her numbers are, whatever, like, I don't know. I know she does sell real estate still. However, I don't know, like she's a busy real estate coach, but she's out and about and doing the things and she makes people feel good. So that's why I can't just say, okay, don't buy coaching based on if they've never, or if they're not selling real estate anymore. Also, what is everybody with Tom Ferry going to do? Obviously, they're getting value out of it, right? So if you're getting value out of it and you're seeing that it's working, then that's when you want to keep doing it. As soon as things start to shift, and I'm not saying like a little bit, like obviously you got to work through, keep going through the motions, keep giving it the things that you got, but go through the motions. And then like, if you see a shift and you start to see that things are changing and they're not working anymore, you have to reevaluate. You have to analyze where you're at and switch it up, right? So those are the things that I think that you should look for in a coach. Just to break it down again, make sure that they're helping you with an area that you need to be helped with. Also, don't go into debt. Don't ever go into debt for real estate coaching. All right? Like some people will be like, oh, the benefit outweighs, the ROI. I don't recommend it. I would say like get a closing, like have them give you enough to get a closing. If they're that good, be like, okay, well, give me a tip to get a closing right now. And once I get it, then I'll sign up for your coaching. Because this is the stuff that I used to do. I would be like, okay, I'm going to tell you how to hold a massive open house and how to get a ton of people to this open house. And when that works, come back to me and sign up for my coaching, right? So, and by the way, this was like 5 years ago. So I don't know that you can even do it anymore. And some states don't let you put signs up and things like that. But, okay. Yeah, Krista's awesome. I've been with Krista the whole time. Do you recommend hiring a VA for seller leads? Okay, Suma has a question that's off topic. And she said, do you recommend hiring a VA for seller leads? Do you mean to call them?
Yeah.
A VA, okay, so let me explain the difference between a VA and an ISA really quick. A virtual assistant has a certain personality type. If you don't believe me, give them a DISC profile, and you will see that they're going to be either a high S or a high C. So if you gave me a personality type, I'll just tell you, my DISC profile is a 99 I out of 100, 99, and I think it was 80 plus in the D, dominant driver personality. So no, I don't recommend hiring a VA for seller leads unless it was just like following up through email or something like that. You know what I mean? And I would also be very careful about hiring anyone. Yeah. So just be careful because you want your money to work for you. And sometimes it can work against you based on perceptions that people have.
Yeah, that's what I'm confused what to do because some people say they are having a assistant who calls them on behalf of the company, like all seller leads,
Yeah.
Presenting from this company, if you have any questions, call them,
Yeah. So just think of a VA as somebody that is kind of behind the scenes. They don't usually like to be on the phone. They're not really talkers. They're doers. They're checklists. They check boxes.
Got it.
Yeah. So, but that doesn't mean that they can't send an email. They can't create a campaign. They can't tag someone. But the people that have the conversational skills, that's really what you're looking for. And that's why there's a difference between an ISA and inside sales agent who's more conversationalist, not so much thinking about all the back end stuff, the systems, so.
Means I can hire the conversationalist who are good in conversation.
Say that again.
Do you mean I can hire the person who is good in conversation?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I would do that. I would hire someone that's good at having conversations, more like an ISA.
Okay.
But know your target audience too, right? Like know who are you? Who's your client avatar, Sula?
Oh, my client avatar is like most of the time the income level. I go with the income level. People who are having 150 plus K yearly income.
Okay.
Target them.
Okay.
The other day somebody called me because I was finding somebody in the Fiverr, He told how I do the sales calls. I work for real estate companies. So I'm thinking of, taking his help for the calls.
Okay. So that gets offered to real estate agents all the time. We get calls from VAs who double as ISAs, and I don't want to knock it. I would just say that they're two different skill sets. Personally, I
totally got it. Yeah. But he sent his voice message on, so how he talks to the sellers,
Yeah. But I think that you should, you're looking at doctors, lawyers, right? You're looking at that kind of thing. So your marketing needs to be high level, kind of luxury. And I'm also, I think that it's really beneficial if you speak a second language or another language to promote to those people, because it's not easy to do a transaction outside of your first language.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's the reason I thought of hiring somebody who is good in that,
Well, if you have them call a specific, if they speak a certain language and they're calling a certain type of person, that I think might work for you. I would just say make sure that they are more of a conversationalist than they are an administrative person.
Oh, got it. I got it. Thank you. You're so knowledgeable. Good. You're super. Good.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you so much. Well, so that's my advice to all of you as far as finding a coach, finding a mentor. Make sure they make you feel good about yourself. Make sure that they are someone that you can afford. They are someone that has been or is where you want to be, and that can help you with the deficits that you have. So if you need help with social media, then you're going to go to Krista Mayshore. If you need help with systems, maybe you sign up with Linnea's coaching. There's all different kinds of options out there, and make sure that whoever you pick is somebody that is going to make you feel good about what you're doing.
Yeah.
Lift you up.
Yes. Perfectly said. Yeah. Perfectly.
Thank you. All right, you guys. Well, it was so nice to have you here. Thank you all. Until next time.
If you'd like more information or to get connected to the Agent Power Huddle, join our free Facebook group. This call was designed for the agents in our EXP organization, but open to any agent from any brokerage. If you're a guest and you're interested in learning more about EXP or our specific resources within the Agent Collective, reach out to the person who invited you to this call to get more info. Produced by the Agent Collective Media Network.